right, Todd here, and have I got a treat for you. My journey is just ending. We just climbed out of Bright Angel Trail from Havasupai Gardens here at the Grand Canyon. I am at the Bright Angel Trailhead at Grand Canyon Village. And though my adventure is just ending, yours is about to begin. Let me take you with me and our group as we spend 4 days, 3 nights in the Grand Canyon. All right, Todd here again. We are at the Grand Canyon. I'm here with a group of friends. There's 11 of us in our group. We just got off that shuttle bus on the Red Line. It's taking us out to a place called Hermit's Rest. That's our starting point of our trail. We're going to be doing 4 days, 3 nights in the Grand Canyon on the Tonto Trail. Tonight we'll camp at Hermit Creek. Tomorrow night we'll be at Monument Creek, and then we'll be at Havasupai Garden on Friday night. On the third night, here is a view. Let's see if I can turn this around. No, I can't. Here's a view of some of what you see from the rim. Obviously, on film, it does not do it justice. And anyway, we're gonna hit the trail here in a minute. So we've been on the trail, I don't know, maybe a mile here. You can see the trail down there in front of me, where those guys are walking. That's the group I'm hiking with this week. Trail winds around, and you can see it way down there, very faintly, kind of in the center of the screen, just above the red cliff. And anyway, it's beautiful. A lot of elevation drop already at this point, and the bigger part of the canyon's around that corner over there. All right, so come down a fairly high descent. We're up on top of that. This is a great little view down this canyon. You get a good glimpse out across some of the expanse of the main canyon down there. We are just passing the fork. The trail forked right back there. To the left would have been Dripping Springs on the Boucher Trail. We have stayed on the Hermit Trail, and doing great. There's a few in my group there ahead, and we had a lot of rain on the drive down yesterday, just, you know, coming down from our homes. And I'll turn here. You can see that the clouds are gathering once again, although I don't think rain is in our forecast. So off we go. Okay, I wanted to mention that when I'd stopped before and pointed and said that's the trail, and pointed across the canyon, that was actually the Boucher Trail. The trail that we're on actually kind of comes under a cliff edge here and works its way kind of at this elevation. Looks like we're going to walk, I don't know how far, but then we're going to drop back down kind of gradually down the mountain there. Sorry, down the trail. I can see the 3 Mile Rest House. So when we get there, I'll show you what that looks like. But absolutely gorgeous day. Got some cloud cover, so we're hiking in shade periodically. We had stopped back there and taken a rest. Talked to some guys that were hiking the Arizona Trail, doing some through hiking. Had started down in Mexico and are nearing the end of their experience with that. And yeah, it was good to just visit with somebody else out here loving the Grand Canyon. Okay, here's a little bit of view from the trail. Every now and then the trail comes out to a corner like this, and you just catch some glimpses of some pretty amazing things. I believe there's a trail on that side of the canyon. That might be where the Boucher Trail comes down. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to consult the map, but you can see that we've dropped a fair amount total elevation right now, and still have a ways to go. I believe way down in the center of that screen, let's see if I can make it bigger, the river, you can catch just a little white spot of the river down in there somewhere. Kind of sprinkling rain right here a little bit. Taking a little break. Down below over there, just kind of right in the middle of the screen, across that flat, you catch a glimpse of where the Tonto Trail and this trail meet, and then we'll continue on a little bit left, and our camp is going to be just beyond this ridge that's down there in front of us. So down, not to the river, but down on that level of that rim, right out here will be left of that. All right, you can hear me huffing and puffing a little. So what's kind of unique about this hike we've been doing, it's a lot of descent, losing a lot of elevation coming down the canyon, and kind of is a little bit of a mind game, because when you look at the trail on a map or something and you think, okay, downhill, blah blah blah, but what's kind of interesting is it's so rocky, and you're just like making choices almost every step where you're going to put your foot. And it's not like that the whole way. I'm not saying it is, but it's enough that you kind of get this weird, it's just the constant choosing of where does my foot go, which is unique. And then you'll hit kind of flat sections, and it's kind of, small rock or sand, and you just cruise along. But then you hit these downhill parts and you're like, oh, where do I put my left foot? Oh, where do I put my right foot? So, it's not as fast as you may think. But man, what a beautiful day. Still cloudy. We're not walking in a lot of direct sunlight. The canyon with the shadows and the clouds and all that, man, the views are pretty incredible. So that down below, that's Hermit Creek, and we'll camp on the top end of that. But if we want to access the river, we'll go down that canyon right there, and that'll be our first night's camp. That there is the canyon that I was pointing out earlier, saying Hermit Creek runs through there. So our camp will be somewhere just around that knoll to the left, I believe. Here's some of what we've come down. The trail goes up through all that up there, and looking up that canyon that you saw some side shots of earlier in the day. And the river is right down in there somewhere. Pretty beautiful place. All right, so making our way down the trail here. We are almost to the junction of the Tonto Trail. We've been coming down the Hermit Trail, and there's a sign right down here. You can see we are at the Tonto Trail, and we're going to continue west to our campsite right above Hermit Creek. And then tomorrow we'll backtrack this 1.2 miles to this same spot, and we'll take the trail towards Monument Creek. So here we are at the intersection of the Tonto Trail. All right, so it's the start of day 2. I didn't do a lot of content down in camp. We camped right down there near that rock. There's a sign that says large group site where that big flat area is. There's a outhouse down there, 2 different sides to it. Had a great night. It was a little warm right at bedtime, but through the night it was perfect temperature. We are on the trail, a little shorter destination hike today. We're going to Monument Creek campsite, and once we get there and set up, we will head down to Granite Rapids, check out some parts of the Colorado River. All right, so we are currently about halfway from the campsite at Hermit Creek to Monument Creek. Came over that saddle there in the back. There's actually a group of people standing back there. You can't see them. Down below me here is the river. You can catch glimpses of the river through some of these washes and cuts in the rock. Just absolutely beautiful. It's kind of mid-morning, already pretty hot. It's the month of May, but man, it's a beautiful day. Had a gorgeous night in camp last night. Actually cooled off a little bit. I might have mentioned that before, and just really made for a comfortable night's sleep. Anyway, off we go. Here we are at Monument Creek. There's a little bit of water flowing there in the bottom. I'm assuming this is the monument. Who knows? River's down that way. We'll walk down there, I think, later this afternoon. Our campsite is somewhere up there. So we'll head that way and see what it has to offer. All right, so we got to camp at Monument Creek and had some lunch, and now we are down in the bottom of Monument Creek in the creek bed, and you can see the canyon rim way back there somewhere. Anyhow, we're walking down to the mighty Colorado River. Check that out from this. The creek is flowing up by camp, but once you get down here, it's pretty much it's gone. There's no water here in the creek bed, so you're just walking down a dry wash. So pretty incredible country. We're into some really gnarly rock formations down here, and we should be to the river in the next half mile or so. Okay, we are nearing the confluence of Monument Creek, which has started flowing again here. You can kind of hear the river, so I think we're close. Those dark cliffs are actually across the river, so coming up right now on the Colorado River. We'll start the video when we get there. All right, so we've reached the river. You see here behind me is what we call Granite Rapids. It's a fairly lengthy rapid. I don't know what class it is. That's upriver there. Pretty incredible. You can see up behind me, canyon rim way up there. Pretty remarkable place. All right, so we're down here at the rapids. This boat just came through. We've had some smaller boats come along today. We've been swimming right here in this part of the river. These guys just came flying through. I think there must be another one coming the way they're looking up the river. Here we go. Here's that second boat hitting these big rapids. Oh, people getting tossed to and fro. Very nice. Pretty incredible down here. This water, we've been swimming. I'm standing in the water right now. There's my foot. Yeah, it's pretty awesome out here. Okay, so we're getting into some really cool time of night. Sun's gonna go down here in the next hour or so, maybe 2 hours. I'm down here along Monument Creek, which you can see here flowing, filtering some water with the platypus gravity feed. You fill the dirty bag up here, goes through the filter there, and fills that. It can do up to 4 liters at a time, so basically a gallon goes in the dirty water, filters to a gallon of clean water. Super handy. I can carry back to camp a gallon of clean water in the clean bag and a gallon of dirty water in the dirty bag, and filter more water at camp as I need to. So Just incredible, incredible scenery going on down here. Really beautiful place.
It's going to the moon.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We got work to do here.
They landed on the moon.
They're brutal, right?
So it's something. There's a plan where you can do that. That is it. And then we bought one for us, and every year we bought one. And then last year we couldn't buy one because it got delayed. We were supposed to open up one last year, one this year.
Selfie
That's the
stick
bad timing.
with
We're not gonna let it go right now.
Oh, that's pretty, isn't it?
We opened up the one.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. We're on the ascent out of Monument Creek. We camped down there last night. The group site. It's kind of center of the screen where you see the trail go up towards the rock face. There along the rock face is where the group site is, and great little spot. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and we are headed out. I'm the last in our group with a couple others, and we're climbing this trail. Beautiful scenery. Check out that. Woo! All right, I'm still climbing out. This is just a couple minutes later, but this canyon is pretty incredible. That's the top of the rim up there, that highest point. Just amazing, and had a great night last night. It cooled off enough that we slept pretty comfortably. Like I said, this trip is in May. I don't know how people do it later into the summer, but I'm sure they do. And pretty incredible. There's probably another 10 or 12 people camped down there in some of the smaller group sites, and pretty awesome. The water in Monument Creek wasn't flowing as fast as the water at Hermit Creek, but still plenty to filter and have your needs met. So pretty awesome. Having a great time. Our plan today, we're gonna hike about 10.5 miles. There is no filterable water on this next stretch. We will pass a couple of creeks, Salt Creek and Horn Creek, but both are not safe for filtering or drinking. And so we're carrying all the water we need for today. Some in our group left really early, trying to beat some of the heat of the day. And should be great. We're gonna wind up at Havasupai Gardens, and this will be our last night in the canyon, and we will hike out the Bright Angel Trail tomorrow morning. So pretty great. All right, here we are. Pretty incredible view of the river down below. Gnarly rock formations down there. We're on the Tonto Trail, just about 2.5 miles from our last camp, and seeing some awesome views this morning. The lighting's pretty harsh because the sun's high in the sky, but wish you were here. Okay, so we just passed Horn Creek a little while ago. Should have taken a picture there, but the trail leading up to Horn Creek, you walk right along these pretty gnarly cliffs just off to the left for us today, but the Tonto Trail stays on this rim and just zigzags in and out along these canyons, so you're not gaining or losing a lot of elevation, but to walk maybe half mile or 3/4 of a mile across the canyon, you wind up taking a fairly lengthy walk around up to the head of the canyon and then back along the opposite rim. So that's kind of what today will consist of, and the views are incredible. Here's a great view of the canyon looking back. So the Tonto Trail goes along above that ridge there, along those cliffs, and circles back around this way. Here we have a great view looking down river. Pretty awesome. That river looks really peaceful from here, but it's moving pretty quick and it's cold, and the rapids are no joke. So that was awesome going to the river yesterday. Here we are, a couple from my hiking group there. It's kind of middle of the day. It's getting on towards the heat of the day. We're about 5 miles into our 10.5 mile journey. All right, this is one of the great views from this trail, looking down the river. Really just epic sort of stuff. If you look over across the river, there's just absolute just incredible views every which way. And it's warm. Like I said earlier in the video, I do not know how people do this much later in the year. I guess if the creeks flow throughout the summer, you could do it with some smart planning and carrying lighter weights probably. But yeah, we're continuing on our journey. We're getting closer with every step. Okay, little update. We're 8.5 miles down the trail, a couple miles more to go. This drainage behind me is Horn Creek. Up at the head of that canyon is the little campsite. There's no water that you can filter there due to some uranium issues. That's going to be nuclear, I guess. Cool little campsite there in the shaded trees. But like I said, no water, so anybody who camps there needs to be prepared. Didn't look like anybody had been there recently, but maybe they're practicing leave no trace. I wouldn't be able to tell anyway. All right, scenery continues, but it's hot. We're in full exposure, and it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. So they've got some kind of project going on here. They got this black pipe running along the trail. I should have taken some pictures out further out there. They had some machinery that they've probably flown in here with a helicopter. We are approaching Havasupai Garden. You can see the trees and such. This is along, I think, Garden Creek they call it. You can see some machinery down there. Kind of weird to be in the bottom of the Grand Canyon and have tractors working and reversing with their beeps. I haven't really shown you our campsites, but this is by far the nicest. This is at Indian Gardens. You can see behind me a couple pavilions. There's some tables. This was the group site for 7 to 11 people. And it is Saturday morning at 6:15. And most of our group has left. There's 5 of us here, 6 are on the trail, and we are on the way. There is water here at this camp, so you don't have to filter any water, and restrooms. The permits are tough to get. Yeah, we got this one on a lottery. One in the group, and that made it so we could come down and do this. So anyhow, we're starting the ascent. I'll turn my camera here and you can see behind me we're going to wind up at the top of that highest ridge. So it's going to be great. This is the Bright Angel Trail, and it will take us up through that corner of the canyon right there. It's a 4.5 mile hike from the campsite. All right, so we're about a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter, a mile and a third up the trail from the campground, which is right down over there somewhere. You can see across the canyon, but it looks a little hazy in the morning light. We're making pretty decent time. Been on the trail about 25 minutes, 20 minutes, somewhere in there. And it's just beautiful. These cliffs behind us, the trail, believe it or not, does get on top of that eventually after a couple of pretty healthy switchbacks. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful day. So I could be wrong about this, but the Bright Angel Trail, one of the more used trails here on the South Rim, this and the South Kaibab Trail. So they're groomed and developed a little bit differently. That trail we went in on the Hermit Creek, Hermit Trail, and like the Boucher Trail further on than that are nothing like this. All right, so last time we stopped at the 3 Mile Rest House. Of course, for us coming out, it was the 1.5 mile rest house. I didn't show you what that looked like, but here's another one. They're every 1.5 miles. You can see behind me there's a outhouse up here, and then some water further up, right up here. So you don't have to carry your water with you. You can get water every 1.5 miles. It's pretty awesome. All right, so we are probably approaching the 3.5 miles. If you look down here behind me, you can see the views. We started down in those trees and just off that cliff face. You see that dirt road going out to that point? That's Plateau Point. It's been closed right now for some construction repair, so nobody can go out there. A lot of people going down the trail this morning. It's about 8:15. Been on the trail a couple hours. It's probably another mile and a quarter to go. Making good time. Part of our group's probably at the top already. The early departers and the faster walkers, but we're having a good day. So, a little less than 1 mile from the top, there's this huge cliff face. These switchbacks are kind of at a steady grade. I might have mentioned that before. I think they have a trail standard that they try to keep from killing the mules. But pretty awesome. I guess that's how you get around the cliff. Trail and valley down below, switchbacks. You climb a lot of elevation, but I'm impressed with the trail. It's been used a really long time, and it's a great trail.